What's up, guys? So for today we've got a tour of a 35-foot Chris Craft sail yacht, and to be honest with you, up until recently I didn't know Chris Craft made a sailboat, but they did, and it's actually pretty cool. It's a full-keeled center cockpit sloop with most definitely a unique layout. But real quick before we get to the boat, if you're watching and you're enjoying these videos, I just want to remind you again to please hit that subscribe button. It helps us a lot, so thank you in advance. And without further ado, let's get to the tour. I am going to start with the stern, and we're starting with the deck tour as always. We've got some solar off the back. We've got our main sheet right there. This is a center cockpit boat, so the stern is very open. We've got a nice stern locker, real good storage, real good access. It's a nice big aft storage compartment. I like that a lot. It's got a nice big solar vent on it, which is awesome. Lots of ventilation. What else do we got on the back? Got a grill. Got our dinghy on davits. Very nice. That's about it. Let's look forward from the aft portion of the boat. This is what she looks like. Got some port lights for the aft cabin. Looking forward. We've got a nice bimini. Looks like new canvas, and a Dodger. All matching canvas on the sail cover with the lazy jacks. We've got a sloop rig. Looking up the mast. Alright, and I'm going to walk up the port side. We've got an old school looking winch right here. I'm not familiar with this type. This is a center cockpit boat, but we're going to come back to this. It is a little windy today, so I apologize for the wind noise. Gin pole or spinnaker pole on deck right there. A couple of them actually. Going forward a little more. Stepping up on the coach roof. The decks look really nice. They feel really solid. We've got a dual anchor roller, and she is currently anchored right now. We've got a roller furler right there. Again, it looks like new canvas on the head sail. Looking aft, and this is the boat. It's a very, very clean looking boat. Nice looking boat. Who would have thought Chris Craft? We've got a windshield, which is really, really cool. So kind of like a hard Dodger, and then that goes into a bimini, so a very protected cockpit from weather. Got a nice big hatch right there for good ventilation in the saloon. And going aft, got dual dorades, so lots of ventilation on this boat. Nice wide side decks, and again the deck looks beautiful. It's a very, very clean boat. Going into the cockpit, we've got the nice Dodger bimini. Looking down, so this is the cockpit. I'm gonna head in right now. So this is the Helm. Got our instruments right there, Garmin GPS, and a CPT autopilot, which there it is down there as well. These things are awesome. They're analog autopilots, they're bomb proof. They are just amazing. We were actually gonna put one on freebie, but obviously that didn't work out. And this cockpit is very, very protected. I mean, look at that. You got a windshield, hard Dodger, bimini above you, nice high coamings. I mean, couldn't get a safer cockpit than this. Really, really nice, safe and comfortable. That's the companionway door right there down into the main saloon, and then behind me right here is the companionway door down into the aft cabin. Now this is a walk-over center cockpit. We've got some storage right here. Underneath this seat, this lazarette. It looks like we probably got storage on the other side as well. Lots of storage up here. Engine controls, and then below my feet is going to be the engine, so let's take a look at that. Alright, so real nice engine access. It's great that you don't have to work on your engine inside the cabin of the boat, so very, very nice. Kind of like a mini ML. I love when the engine is under the cockpit like this on center cockpits. So let us go into the aft cabin first. So we're going aft. We're gonna go down. All right, so I just came down that companionway, and I do have to say this aft cabin is a little bit tight. This is a small boat. We've got a single berth on the port side there, and let me spin around. We've got lots of natural light though, lots of ventilation. And we've got what looks like a double berth on the starboard side over there. So nice little aft cabin. Everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. This is a pretty small ladder though, so you kind of have to be in good shape to use this. But looking forward. This is the highlight of the boat right here, I think. Got the cockpit with the huge companionway door going down into the main saloon, which really isn't that far down. Just a couple steps, and now you have your main settees, which are actually where a V-berth would be on most other boats. And then you've got your sail locker up forward of that, and your anchor locker even more forward of that. You've got some compartments on the side. It looks like you could probably close this off as well if you wanted to do that. And yeah, there's your big hatch. Here's a better look at that sail locker, anchor locker, turning aft. Got cabinets in the sidewalls. So more storage in the main saloon. This boat makes good use of storage. Looking aft, got like a hanging locker right there, it looks like. There's the compression post. Storage. Storage. Let's look under the cushions. Looks like you've got some storage underneath the cushions as well. Lots of storage under all of these cushions. You know, these cabinets as well. Let's take a look at this hanging locker right here. We go around the compression post a little bit. And yeah, you know, narrow little hanging locker, but at least it's not dead space. And then after that, we got a nice little galley. Pretty simple, nothing too fancy. This looks to be like it could be a top-loading fridge, and it is. You've got your sink, probably an alcohol stove. It's got what you need and nothing more. It's a nice little feature right there. We've got a screen on the companionway, and then right here we've got some more storage. And then we've got a wet head that looks to be like it has been painted with most likely epoxy paint and ready to be used as a head and a shower. And then that is a composting toilet right there. Alright guys, it is now time for the continuous interior walkthrough from bow to stern. Alright, so I am in the main saloon, which is in the forward section of the boat. We've got the sail locker, anchor locker forward of that, turn and aft. We've got lots of wind. We've got your main saloon again, standing right in the middle of it. Going aft, looking to port, we've got your single wet head. To starboard, we've got your simple little galley, but in pretty good shape. And I do want to spin forward one more time so you can get another good look at the main saloon. Nice little space. Alright, turning aft. We're going up into the cockpit because there's no other way to go aft without going into the cockpit. We've got your very protected, large center cockpit. Very nice. I like this a lot. I mean, it's really windy right now. And, you know, I'm completely protected. So even at anchor, this is perfect. I'm going aft. Going down. I'm sitting on the single berth looking at the double berth to starboard. And then now I'm getting up, turning around. Sitting on the double berth looking towards the single berth. Very nice. And you got a little viewing port right here. You can look up here. You can look throughout here. And I really like the way that this is designed, because look at that. You can have these windows wide open. It could be raining and there's just no problem. So I like that a lot. I'm surprised I missed that before. That looks really cool. Alright, so Chris Craft. That was a pretty cool boat. I was pleasantly surprised. I definitely think the highlight of that boat was the center cockpit. It wasn't just any old center cockpit. It was a very deep, very large, protected center cockpit that also had a integrated hard dodger with a windshield and that bimini that went over the entire thing. So that center cockpit was very protected, and I think that was, you know, in a sense, the best part of this boat. Because the boat is a center cockpit, you get that more open aft deck there, so if you want to do a little fishing off the back, it's a little bit easier to do that kind of stuff off of a center cockpit vessel versus an aft cockpit. I thought this boat was in fairly good shape. It's obviously an old boat, so all old boats need a little bit of work here and there, and this boat was no exception. It definitely needed some work in certain areas, but just cosmetic stuff really. And I just want to stress, this boat is a very old boat. I mean, if you think about it, she's in 1964. She's going to be turning 60 years old in the next few years. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about the condition of her. I think she is in really good shape for her age. The positives were the layout was certainly pretty unique. I mean, having the main saloon where the V-berth would typically go, and then having kind of like a sail locker forward of that was pretty cool. I mean, if you're going to be using the aft cabin to be sleeping in, you don't really need the V-berth, so you can use that for your seating area as well as, you know, just a big cabinet up forward there. You could close that area off if you wanted to and just make it one big closed storage area, but I thought it was a pretty good layout. I liked the saloon where it was. I also like the fact that in a 35-foot boat, you kind of had some privacy from the cabin to the main living quarter. So, you know, if you had guests aboard, they don't necessarily have to be going into your bedroom per se. I did think it was a little odd that there were 2 berths in the aft cabin, and I would probably go with 1 double or queen size berth back there. But I can see how even if you're a single person or a couple with this boat, you might want to sleep on one side versus the other depending on what tack you're on while you're on a passage. The negatives to the layout was that the head was small, so it was a small wet head, and then right across from the head was the pretty small galley. And the galley was pretty simple. There really wasn't much there. It was just everything you need, nothing more. But overall, I think it's a pretty good boat, especially for the price, which is going to be in the description below. I know the engine is running well, and I do believe she was recently repowered, so that's pretty good as well. I think this is a great boat for a solo sailor or a couple who wants a boat to, you know, sail the Caribbean. I mean, it would be a great boat for that. I would be curious to see what a survey would turn up on a 56-year-old boat, so if you're planning on purchasing this boat, I'd definitely get a survey before you do so. But that being said, she does seem to have a good amount of equipment, and you can definitely sail her right now. And depending on what you want out of her, she's going to need a little bit of work as well. And that is pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say about this boat. I was pleasantly surprised. I think it's a good little 35-foot cruiser, especially for the price. And yeah, if you guys are interested potentially purchasing this boat and want more information, the owner's contact information as well as the asking price is going to be in the description below. As always, guys, if you enjoy this one, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you want to know each and every time we drop a video. See you guys.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I